Right. Good morning. Thank you for joining. So let's begin our session. And it is day 4 AWS with DevOps. Day 4 session on AWS with DevOps. So let's see, let's recap for a few minutes, like what we have discussed in the previous session on day 3. Let me go back to the topics of day 3. So we have understood on day 3, like we have understood like how to connect to a Linux server. Anyhow, we understood like how to create a Linux server. After creating a Linux server, how can we connect to the Linux server using Git Bash? So there are various methods for connecting to the Linux server, but we have seen how can we connect to a Linux server using Git Bash. There are other methods also. We can connect to the server by using PuTTY terminal. We can see that later. So we also understood like there are status checks. Usually it has to show the status checks as 2 by 2. But sometimes like if it is showing any status check as 0 by 1 or 0 by 2 or 1 by 2, we need to understand whether the issue is with the operating system or hardware. So we understood like what are the two types of status checks. Okay. OS checks, operating system failure it might be a hardware failure. And we also understood like how can we protect the instance from accidental termination. We also understood like how can we protect the instance from accidental termination. And the next thing is like we understood like how can we increase the configuration of a machine. Suppose if I have launched at EC2 machine, if I have launched an EC2 instance with some T2.micro configuration, and is it possible to increase from T2.micro to T2.medium? Or otherwise, is it possible to decrease from T2.medium to the lower configuration? So all those things we have understood. And we have also started discussing about how can we create an AMI. AMI stands for Amazon Machine Image. So let's understand this one very clearly. How we are going to create AMIs. Okay, how can we create our own AMI? Okay, let's understand. I'll tell you like what is an AMI, how we are going to create our own AMIs, customized AMIs, Amazon Machine Images. So if you have any questions from previous sessions, suppose if you might have gone through, I'm assuming like you might have gone through the previous sessions. If you have any questions in the last 3 sessions, let's discuss for a few minutes. Otherwise, let's move on to our next topics. Okay. Any questions you have? If not, we'll move to the next. Okay. So today, day 4. Okay. Today, we'll be discussing about we'll continue from there itself, how we are going to create our own AMIs and how can we launch server from AMIs, how we are going to launch server from AMIs. Okay. Then we'll understand like what are volumes, what is volumes, what is a volume here in the AWS, what is the advantage of using volumes, and how can we attach or detach volumes to the EC2 machines. So volume is nothing but a storage actually. Volume is nothing but a storage. We'll discuss it in detail. We can understand like how can we attach or detach the volumes, and we'll also go through the concept of snapshots. Today, we'll also go through the concept of snapshots, and we'll also come across creating volumes from the snapshots. Okay, these are the topics that we will be discussing in today's session. Let's go ahead and start with how can we create our own AMI. Let me go to the EC2 dashboard. I have logged into my AWS cloud. I have just logged into my AWS cloud. Hope you all have created accounts in the AWS and started practicing. If not, please create an account in the AWS and start practicing. Okay. So we are at the EC2 service. Suppose if we are not at the EC2 service, how can we go to the EC2 dashboard? Go to the search bar and search with EC2. So you can select the very first EC2 service. Then you will see the EC2 dashboard like this. This is how the dashboard looks like for EC2. And you can see here, it is clearly showing some summary. How many instances running for now? How many auto scaling groups are there? how many elastic IPs are there, everything, some summary information it is displaying. Anyhow, if we wanted to understand all these things, what are elastic IPs, what are auto-scaling groups, okay, all these things we will be understanding, okay, once after completing all these things. Okay, let me go to the instances. For now, we will understand like what are, we know what is instance, and we can see now, for now, 0 instances are running. We don't have any instances running now. I'm just opening it. We don't have any instances running. And let me show you, we don't have any instances. Okay, this is the machine that was already running and it got terminated. Okay, so now I would like to launch a new instance. I would like to launch a new instance now. So you all know how to launch a new instance. There are few steps involved in launching a new instance. So for launching an instance, like we need to provide some name. It's not a mandatory one. You can provide some name. I'm just going to keep some name like Linux server. If I'm launching Linux server, okay, I'm just keeping the name like Linux server, something like that. And here, from here itself, here itself, we need to choose some options. Like to launch a server, we need to choose AMI, Amazon Machine Image. I told you we need to choose some AMI. Based on this AMI only, our operating system, based on our operating system, we need to choose this AMI. Suppose if we are going to launch a server, if we are going to launch an Amazon Linux server, I will choose Amazon Linux AMI. If we wanted to launch Windows server, then I will choose Windows AMI. And I told you these are the different flavors: Amazon Linux, Ubuntu, Mac OS, Red Hat, SUSE Linux. All these are the different flavors in the Linux, like how we have different versions in the Windows. Okay. So for now, I'm just choosing Amazon Linux operating system. Amazon Linux one. So when I'm talking about like choosing Amazon Linux operating system, it is nothing but it is an OS image. We are selecting the OS in the form of image. We are selecting OS in the form of image. Okay, that is called as my Amazon machine image. So for now, I'm selecting Amazon Linux AMI. Okay, here itself. So when we select the AMI, it is nothing but like you can understand here what does the AMI consist of. You can understand like what does the AMI consist of. Okay, so it is having some operating system. AMI is a template that contains software configuration. Like it consists of operating system. Okay, and if you install any applications on the server, everything will comes under the AMI only. You'll understand now what is the, okay, you will understand clearly what is an AMI. For now, I'm selecting Amazon Linux. I'm going to choose an instance type. For now, I'm going with the free tier machine, T2.micro. We discussed about all these things in the previous sessions itself. Key pair. I would like to create a key pair. You know, you understood the purpose of key pair. Without this key pair, it is not at all possible to connect to this server from our local machine. So always create a key pair, or otherwise you can select the existing key pair. Suppose if you are creating a key pair for the first time, you can use the same key pair for all your machines that you are creating. You can also do that. Otherwise, if you want to create a new key pair every time, you can go ahead and create a new key pair. Okay. So you know how to create a new key pair, right? Just click on new key pair. Here you will see some name. Here you need to find some name. Okay. I'm going to create AWS KP30, some meaning. Okay. Some meaningful name. Otherwise, you can provide any name. That doesn't matter. Okay. We can give any name. Doesn't matter. But usually whenever you download the key pair, whenever you click on create key pair, so key pair will be downloaded and saved with an extension called .pem. Why? Because here we are selecting the file format, private key file format as PEM. Either you can select the private key file format as PPK also. PEM stands for privacy enhanced mail. PPK stands for putting private key. Both are private key file formats only. Okay. So if you are, either you can use PPK. Usually, most of the times we use PPK whenever we use PuTTY terminal, whenever we use to connect to the servers by using PuTTY. Suppose if I am using PuTTY terminal for connecting to my server, then I'll go for PPK. Otherwise, it's better to use PEM. Okay. I'm just going with the PEM. You can click on create key pair so that the key pair will be downloaded. This is how usually we will download and we will create a key pair. Okay. We can use that key pair for connecting to our instances. Network settings, we are not yet discussed. We have not yet started discussing about networking concept. There is a concept called VPC, virtual private cloud. So once we understand that VPC, you will understand like how we are going to set up our network settings and all. So for now, ignore this and leave for the default settings. You will understand very clearly. No worries. To understand this network settings, you need to understand the concept of VPC, virtual private cloud. Then only you will understand the network settings and all, meaning what is subnet, what is VPC, all these things, what is auto assign public IP, all these things you'll understand only after having the basic concept, fundamental concept of VPC only. So for that reason, we are ignoring this network settings here. We are leaving for default. Okay. We are leaving for default settings. I'm coming down and I'm going to create a new instance. I'm not choosing any storage particularly. By default, there is an 8 GB storage. This is called volume. Okay, you see, I'm choosing the root volume here. See, whenever I am launching an instance, the volume is coming along with the instance, which is called as a root volume. This volume is coming along with this instance. I am not choosing any volume. I'm not creating any new volume. This volume is coming along with the operating system. That's why it is called as a root volume. I'm just going ahead and creating a instance. So anyhow, we have already seen like how to launch an instance and all. And usually we can connect to this server. I told you like how can we connect to the server and all that we will see later. But before we proceed for the remaining things, our today's agenda is like we are going to understand how to create our own AMI. How can we create our own AMI? So for that reason, what I'm doing is I'm just connecting to the server. I told you there are various ways of connecting to the server. Usually we can simply select the server. Okay, I'm selecting the server which I would like to connect. I would like to connect with the Linux server. I'm selecting the server. I'm just clicking on connect button. So here I have some options like EC2 instance connect, session manager, SSH client, EC2 serial console. Can you tell me what is the option we have used earlier? Which option we used earlier for connecting to the instance? If you remember, this is the one, right? SSH client is the one we used. Okay, we need to copy this command and we need to provide this command inside Git bash terminal. That's how we connected earlier. So now let's connect in a different way. Let's go to the EC2 instance connect. I'm just clicking on EC2 instance connect. Okay. So this is for connecting to the instance by using a browser. By using browser. So we are now connecting to the instance by using browser. We are not using any terminal. I told you that there are various methods for connecting to the server. We can use Git bash. We can use putty. We can use Git bash. We can use putty. We have various methods for connecting to the server. But for now, earlier I have shown you how can we connect to the server by using Git bash terminal. I'll show you like how can we connect using putty also. But for now, I'm just using this EC2 instance connect option. This is mainly for connecting to the server by using browser. See, when I'm selecting this EC2 instance connect, I'm coming down, I'm just clicking on connect button. That's it. I'm not doing anything. Selecting EC2 instance connect and I'm going for selecting connect button. That's it. I got connected to the server. How can you confirm that you got connected to a server? Please check the IP address. This is the private IP address of the server. Where you can see the private IP address of the server. I have shown you very clearly. Once you go to the instances, click on the instance details. You will see the public IP as well as private IP for the instance. This is the private IP 172.31.4.110. This is the private IP. Just come here and verify, is this the private IP address that we got connected? Yes, we got connected to a server, which is a private IP address of 172.31.4.110. This is the server that we got connected. Now what I'm doing is, so after connecting to the server, I would like to install some packages. I've shown you like how to install some packages. Like I'm just going for a command like sudo su hyphen, the meaning of this particular command, sudo su hyphen. So earlier it was showing like EC2 user is nothing but a normal regular user. So now when I'm trying to run a command, when I'm running a command like sudo su hyphen, I'm changing the, we can see the change in the name here. It is root now. So what is the difference between EC2 user and a root? Root is nothing but like admin. So you know, right? Suppose for any machine or for any uh, in any operating system, like we will be seeing some admin settings, admin privileges. So root user is nothing but an admin user. So now I am just logging into the server by using sudo su hyphen command so that I will be logging into the server as a root user, sudo super user do su switch user as a super user. Okay, sudo su hyphen means I would like to switch, I would like to switch as a root user. The purpose of this command is switching as a root user, logging as a root user. That is the meaning of sudo su hyphen. So we can see the root here. I just log in here with the help of a root username, root user, and I would like to install some packages. How to install a package? I've told you like how can we install packages? What is package in the, what is package in the Linux? Usually in the Linux terminology, what is a package? We need to understand, right? So usually in Windows environment, we will install some softwares. Suppose if I have a Windows machine, I'll go to the Google and I'll download some packages so that the packages will be downloaded. I will install them. Some exe package will be downloaded. Okay. So like that, I can download them and I can install. But when we see here, I just log in here as a root user. This is the IP address. And I would like to install some packages like suppose for example, I would like to install some packages like Java. I told you like, so here I don't have any Java package. Why? Because I just connected to the Linux server, which is an empty Linux server. I don't have any packages. Let me show you by running a command called Java space hyphen version. Do I have any Java package available here? Java version available? No. I don't have any Java version available in this machine. This is a Linux server. This is a fresh Linux server I have launched and I'm working on it. I don't have Java version in it. I would like to install Java. I told you like if you want to install Java in any Linux server, based on the Linux environment that you have chosen. Suppose if you have chosen this Amazon Linux, this is the Amazon Linux server. So for some Linux flavors, yum will work. Yum package manager will work. For some Linux server, yum repository will work. You can use sudo yum install Java. This is a very simple command which is used to download the latest version of Java. If you want to customize your Java versions, I'll tell you later. How can we customize the Java versions? How can I install Java 8, Java 11, Java 17? If I want Java 22, Java 21, some Java version if I require particularly. If you want to customize your Java version, we'll discuss it later. How can we download a particular Java version and how can we install it? So for now, I have installed the Java latest version. If you want to see the Java version that is installed, how can we how can we verify? This is the command we use to see whether Java is installed or not. Yes, Java is installed. Similarly, we can also install some other packages. We'll also install some other packages. We have other packages like Git. You know, right? We have a tool called Git. Okay, Git. So we'll understand what is the purpose of Git later. But if I want to install a package called Git, you see, I am just running a command called sudo yum install Git. Sudo yum install Git. So when I'm running this command, sudo yum install Git, when I'm running a command called sudo yum install Git, so it is asking for, it is downloaded. Okay, package is downloaded. It is asking for the installation. If you provide the confirmation as yes, then it will be installed. Hope you understood like what I'm doing. I'm just connecting to some Linux server. I have launched a Linux server. I got connected to Linux server and I'm installing some packages here. I have installed Java package. I have installed another package called Git. I have installed Git. How to verify whether Git is properly installed or not? Git space hyphen hyphen version. We'll understand later what is the use of Git. Anyhow, you understood about Git bash. Okay, right? You understood about Git bash and all. So we'll see. Git is a source code management tool actually. I'll tell you like what is the purpose of Git and all. So git space hyphen hyphen version, you can see git version is available. And I would like to install some other package like Maven. Maven is a build tool. I would like to install maven. I'm confirming. You see, whenever I'm giving sudo yum install maven, so it is downloading the package, and if you want to install, you need to give the confirmation as yes. So I'm providing the confirmation as yes, so that that package will get installed in your machine. So far, how many packages we have installed? Can anyone can anyone say how many packages we have installed so far? We have installed Java, Git, and Maven. These are the packages that we have installed so far. So why I am installing all these packages, I will tell you. I got connected to a Linux server. I have launched a Linux server and I got connected to the server and I'm installing all these packages. If you want to verify whether Maven is properly installed or not, you can verify by running a command called mvn space hyphen hyphen version, because all the Maven command starts with mvn keyword. All the Maven command starts with a keyword called mvn. Okay. All the Maven command starts with a keyword called mvn. So I'm running a command called mvn space hyphen hyphen version so that I could able to see this one. This is the version, Maven version that got installed. So for now, what I'm doing is I'm going back to the EC2 dashboard. There is an instance running. What I can do is I can create an AMI now. This is the server that is running. Okay. This is the Linux server that is running. And we are in the Mumbai region. Can you see? We are in the Mumbai region. In Mumbai region, I have a server called Linux server, and I have installed all the packages like Java, Git, and Maven. And what I'm doing is I'm going to create an AMI. AMI stands for Amazon Machine Image. How to create an AMI? Select the server, go to the go to actions. You will see, okay, you will see image and templates option. You see here when I'm selecting the server, go to the actions. Under actions, you will find one option. You will see something like image and templates. Click on image and templates and then click on create image. And when you click on the create image, it will ask you to provide the image name. Okay. So I'm just providing the name of the AMI as Linux AMI, or otherwise my Linux AMI. This is the name of the image I'm providing. This is the name of the image I'm providing. I'm coming down. If you want to provide any description about the image, yes, you can provide. Otherwise, you can directly go ahead and I can create an image. That's it. Yes, I have created an AMI now. I have created an AMI. I'll tell you the purpose, like what is the use of AMI now. I'm going to the dashboard. Okay, under EC2 dashboard, if you create an AMI, you will see that AMI under, you see here under dashboard, we have instances, we have images. Under images, we have AMIs. Okay, just click on AMIs and see whether your AMI is available here or not. Yes, AMI is available. Your AMI is available here. And please verify the status of this AMI. Still the status of the AMI is pending. You need to wait until the AMI status as active. Why? Because if the AMI is still in the creating stage, you see here, whenever I see the status of the AMI, still it is in the pending status. We need to wait until the AMI gets active. So once the AMI is created properly, then we can use of that AMI. Can anyone tell me what is the use of this AMI now? What is the use of this AMI? Why we are creating this AMI, Amazon Machine Image? Okay, let me explain you very clearly. I'm going back here. So in the beginning, okay, we have created a Linux server. We have created a Linux server with some configuration. Okay, what is the configuration that you have chosen? T2.micro I have chosen. And what is the operating system I have chosen? Amazon Linux. This is the operating system that I have chosen. And storage, anything, right? 8 GB storage 8 GB storage is there. I did not customize it. 8 GB storage we got. So all these things we got, okay? All these things we got. So after launching this Linux server, again, what I did inside the Linux server, I have installed a packages like Git. I have installed the packages like Java. I have installed Java package, Git package, Maven package, and I have also Yes, these are the three packages, right? Java, I have installed Java, I have installed Git, I have installed Maven. All these things, all these three things I have installed. These three packages I have installed. So in the Linux environment, usually we will call it as packages. Package is nothing but a software. If I'm installing the package, nothing but like software. You are installing some software, Java software, Git software, Maven software. So this is how actually now the configuration of your server. Suppose tomorrow you have this server created in the Mumbai region. Okay, consider you have this particular server created in the Mumbai region, and tomorrow there is the same requirement. Okay, if there is same requirement, you need to create one more Linux server in some US East one. Okay, you got a requirement from your manager that we need to create one server in the US East one. US East one, we need to create one server. We need to create one Linux server with same T2.micro, Amazon Linux, 8 GB storage, and you need to install same packages in the server. You need to install Java, Git, and Maven, all the same packages in the server. So that time you don't need to go, you don't need to create a new server again. You don't need to select the configuration. You don't need to install all the packages, which is a time-taking process. Anyhow, this is a simple one. Just now we have installed only three packages. Suppose if a machine is having some 50 softwares or 100 softwares, it's very difficult to install all the packages, right? Installing the softwares itself will consume some amount of time. Definitely, it will take some time, right? So, no need to install all these things. You can take an AMI, you can create one AMI from the same, okay, from this configuration, you can create one AMI and you can move this AMI. What I am doing, I am going to create AMI. I am going to move this AMI to which region? Move this AMI to US East 1. Why? Because requirement is to create the same server in US East 1. So what we are doing with the same server configuration, I am creating an AMI. I am moving this AMI to the US East 1 region. There I am going to launch a server from AMI. Launch server from AMI. I'm going to create an AMI. I'm going to move this AMI to the US East 1 region. And there I'm going to launch a server from the AMI. Let me show you what I'm going to do here now. And let me show you the status of this AMI. I'm just refreshing it. Now the AMI is available. Can you tell me like where the AMI is available? Now the AMI is available in the Mumbai region. Can you see here? This AMI is available in the Mumbai region. Now if I want to move this AMI to some other region, is it possible to move? Yes, I'm selecting this AMI. Go to actions. Go to actions. Copy AMI. You have an option called copy AMI. You can copy. Okay. You can copy it. And you see here, what is the, you can choose the destination region. You are copying this AMI and it is asking for the destination region. Select the destination region. Let's assume that I have told you like US East one. I'm going for this region. Okay. US East. US East. Okay. Let's choose this. This is the region I'm selecting. US East. I'm coming down. I'm just copying the AMI. I'm going to just copy the AMI. That's it. Just click on copying the AMI. I'm choosing the region. I'm copying the AMI. That's it. Very simple, right? So now this is the AMI created in Mumbai region from the Linux server. I have a Linux server created in the Mumbai region. This is the Linux server which is up and running. And my manager asked me to launch the same server in the US East also, in Virginia also. That's the reason why what I am doing. I'm choosing this Linux server, going to the actions button, going to the images. I'm creating an image. I'm creating an image. After creating an image, you will find the image under images section. You can go to the AMIs. You will see the image here. This is the name of the image I have provided, my Linux AMI. Now, how can we move this AMI? Once the status of this image shows in the available status, you can select the image. You can select the image, go to the actions button. You can copy it. You can copy the image, provide the destination region. You can copy it and you can move this image to any of the region. You can go for any of the region. If you want to copy it to the Singapore region, you can select the Singapore region, come down, just copy the AMI. That's it. Your image will be copied to the Singapore region. So now earlier I have copied the image to US East 1. Let me switch to another region called US East 1. Now I am in the Mumbai region. I'm selecting this drop down. I'm going to US East, North Virginia region. Okay. N Virginia region. I'm selecting N Virginia, US East. So Let's see here whether our image got copied to this region or not. Let's see here whether our image got copied to this region or not. So I'm just going to the dashboard and I'm just selecting AMIs. You'll see here, I have an AMI in Virginia region also. I have an AMI, but the status is still showing like pending. You need to wait for some time until the status shows like available. Once it is available, you can launch the server. How can we launch the server here in this region? Select the image. Directly when I'm selecting the image, can you see an option here? Launch instance from the AMI. When I'm selecting this instance, when I'm selecting the image, immediately here it is showing in the highlighted form, right? Launch instance from the AMI. So what you are going to do, you are going to create a server from the AMI. You are going to launch a server from the AMI. I told you instance is nothing but server. According to AWS terminology, we are calling it as instance. Launch instance from the AMI. So you need to wait until some time. Why? Because if the AMI is not active, still it is pending. Still the image is getting copied from Mumbai region to the US East one. US East one. Still the image is getting copied from Mumbai to here. You need to wait for some time. Once after waiting some time, once the image status shows like available, then you can select the image. You can launch an instance from the AMI so that a server will be created. So that the same server, similar configuration, server with similar configuration. I am worrying about the server with similar configuration. So similar server will be created with T2.micro, Amazon Linux, 8 GB storage, and all the packages. We'll also find all the packages in the same server. Okay, we'll also find all these packages installed in the same server. That's the reason why we are going for the AMIs. I'm just waiting for the image to, let me refresh it. Any questions you have? What is the reason why we are going for AMIs and all? Any questions? Hope you understood, right? Why we are going for the AMIs and all. Okay, we are just waiting until the status comes active. So once it is active, then we can, right? I have shown you an option like just select this one, just click on launch instance from AMI so that the instance will be created. Okay. Now I'm just trying to launch an instance from AMI. So usually when I'm selecting launch instance from AMI, it is clearly showing that you need to provide. If you want to provide a different name to the server, you can provide. And if you want to increase your configuration, if you want to increase your configuration, suppose for now you are using T2.micro there in the Mumbai region. If you want to increase it, you can increase it directly while launching. Otherwise, if you don't want to increase, please select the key pair. Okay, if you want key pair, we don't have any key pairs here. Better you need to select one key pair. Okay. Coming down and just launching an instance. If you don't want to make any modifications, you can just come down and you can launch a server. That's it. We are launching a server from the AMI so that I will get the same server which is present in the Mumbai region with the same configuration. Now you see I have launched a server in the Virginia region. I have launched a server. The instance is created and instance is up and running. I can connect to the server now. I am connecting to the server which is created in Virginia. So how can we connect? You can just simply click on connect button by using browser. Okay, by using browser, I'm just trying to connect. Usually, we will not connect with this approach. We used to connect with Git Bash or Putty terminal. Okay, for now, I just wanted to show you like easily. I'm showing like we are connecting to the server by using browser. Okay, so now I got connected to the server. Now you can verify. I'm using Java version. I'm just checking the Java version, Java space hyphen version. Can you see here? I got Java version here. I want to verify whether Git is installed here or not. I'm running a command called git space hyphen hyphen version. Yes, Git version is installed. I would like to see whether Maven is installed or not. Why? Because all these things we have installed. Okay, in the Mumbai region itself, all these things we have installed. All these things we have installed, and we have taken we have created an AMI, and we are launching that AMI here, so that whatever the configuration that we had in the Mumbai region, the server which is present in the Mumbai region, the same configuration we will get here also. That's the reason. This is the reason why we are creating AMIs and we are moving AMIs to some other regions. Okay, moving AMIs to some other regions, and we are launching the servers from the AMI. So we understood what is an AMI and how to create our own AMIs, how to launch a server from the AMI. We understood now how to launch server from the AMIs. AMI stands for Amazon Machine Images. Okay, any questions? It is not only like Mumbai to US East one. You can copy the AMIs from any region to any region. Okay, you can copy the AMIs from any one region to another region. So once you copy the AMI, then you can launch a similar kind of server with the help of AMI. We are launching server by using AMI only. So everything will come in the form of package. Whatever the softwares that you have installed, we are making an image. Image is nothing but like, what is an image? Suppose if you are confusing, okay, let me give you some clarity about image. What is an image actually? So image is nothing but like, image consists of the binary information. Image consists of the binary information. Image mainly consists of binaries and libraries. Binaries and libraries, meaning the important files, the important information about the file system. So image consists of the binaries and libraries that are necessary to launch, that are necessary to run one application. Suppose if I want to run one application, so I can create some image, so that the image will consist of all the important binaries and important libraries. I don't need all the source code, okay? You see here, I'm having the source code. I don't need to take all the source code of that application to run that application. I can create the image which consists of the binaries and libraries, so that with the help of that image, I can able to run. So here also AMI will also consist of the binaries and libraries which are necessarily required to run one instance, okay, to launch one instance. Fine. If you don't understand what is image and all, you will understand slowly. But for now, we understood what is an AMI and how we are going to create AMIs, how to launch AMIs. And now let's move to the another topic, which is called volumes. We'll go to the volumes concept. So in AWS, if you go to the EC2 dashboard, let me go to the EC2 dashboard. I'm closing this. If you have any questions, you can ask me. I'm going to the EC2 dashboard. Under EC2 dashboard itself, okay, I'm going back to the Mumbai region. How to switch back to the Mumbai region? You can go to this drop down. AP South 1 is the Mumbai region code. Just switch back to the Mumbai region. This is the Mumbai region. So here we have one server running. And in the region called US East 1, we have another server running. If you don't want that instance, see, now we are just practicing, right? We don't want to waste our free tier. So that's the reason why I would like to delete this. How to delete this? Just select this machine, go to the instance state, terminate it. I have successfully initiated termination. So this instance will get terminated. Select this, go to the instance state, select terminate. Okay, that's it. The instance will be deleted. Instance will be deleted. And if you want to delete the AMI also, you have copied an AMI from Mumbai region to here, right? If you want to delete that, select the AMI. Okay, choose the AMI, select it, go to actions, deregister. You have an option called deregister AMI. Just click on deregister AMI. Sorry. So you can deregister the AMI. That's it. You see here we have deleted. See, it is nothing but deleting. So whatever the AMI we have copied it. Yes, Lokesh, just tell me what is your point. Lokesh, you raised the hand. You have any questions?
Yes, yes. May I know what's the difference between deregister and delete AMI?
So here we don't have an option when I'm selecting the AMIs here, you see. We don't have an option here to delete the AMI. It is nothing but deleting the AMI only. But so actually, what is happening is whenever we are creating an AMI, that AMI is getting stored in this particular region. Okay, that AMI requires some storage, right? So that AMI requires some memory. So it is getting stored here in the Virginia region. So we are just simply deleting it. It is nothing but deregistering the AMI is nothing but deleting it. Okay,
Okay.
right. So now we are going back again to the Mumbai region. We are going back to the Mumbai region, which is called AP South 1. And let's understand. So what we have done is we have deleted the AMI and we have deleted the server, which is created in another region because we don't want that. We're just working it. We're just trying it for practice. That's the reason why I have deleted all those things. So now let's understand. Let's move to our next topic in our today's agenda. Nothing but which is volume. So we need to understand what is a volume. Okay, let's understand what is a volume. Where we have the volume concept here, you see. Under EC2 dashboard, there is a section called elastic block storage. You see here in the AWS, there is a separate service. Usually people will call it as a separate service. Okay, but don't look this as a separate service. Okay, try to understand this under EC2 only. So under EC2, we have a section called, the elastic block storage. Elastic block storage. Under this elastic block storage, we will see the volume, snapshots, lifecycle manager, all these things. Okay, mainly the main things like we are going to discuss now is volumes and snapshots anyhow. So let's understand what is a volume. And you see here, I have launched an instance. I have launched an instance in the Mumbai region. And going back to the EC2 dashboard, I am inside the Mumbai region. I am in the Mumbai region. I am in the Mumbai region. I have launched an instance, you see. I am in the Mumbai region. I have launched an instance. This instance is up and running. And you know the configuration of this machine is T2.micro. And we understood about what is status check, all these things. If I want to see the storage, the volume of this server, see whenever you create a server, every server will have some volumes. Okay, let me open this server and let me show you what is the volume of this particular one. If you want to see the volumes, you need to go to the storage. I told you the simple meaning of volume is storage. It is similar to our hard disk. It is similar to our hard disk in our laptops or personal computers. We know about the hard disk, right? Hard disk is mainly for the storage. So I'm just going for the storage part. And I'm able to see one volume here. This is the volume. This is the volume. Okay. What is the size of this volume I have created? I have created a volume. I have chosen the volume size of 8 GB. Okay. You can create up to any extent. Okay. You can create a volume of 10 GB, 100 GB, 1 TB. Yes, but I have created a volume size of 8 GB. So for this machine, I'm showing you. And I would like to tell you that this volume is a root volume. Why it is called as a root volume? This particular volume is a root volume. I'm showing you the volume under the EC2 machine. And this volume is attached to this EC2 machine. This volume is called as a root volume. Why it is called as a root volume? Any reason? Any reason we have to call this as a root volume? This is called as a root volume because this volume comes along with the instance. We are not attaching any volume separately to the server. You see, whenever I launch a server, along with the server, if any volume is getting attached, those volumes are called as root volumes. Okay, let me show you. So there is a machine running now. Okay, we have an instance running now. And already this instance is having a storage called, I'm going to the storage section. And we understood like this particular machine is attached with a storage of 8 GB, 8 GB volume. Okay, 8 GB volume is already stored, already attached. Now, what I would like to do is I would like to attach one more volume. What I'm trying to say is this, whatever the 8 GB volume that we have attached here, this is not at all sufficient for me. And I would like to attach one more volume for this instance. Is it possible to attach one more volume? Yes. It is possible to attach any number of volumes to an instance. Instance is nothing but a server. What is the reason why we need volumes? Volumes are mainly for the storage, for storing the data. Volumes are mainly for storing the data, right? So usually, you know the difference between C drive, D drive. Usually in our laptops or personal computers, we will make some partitions, right? C drive, D drive, like that. We will be having some partitions in the C drive, and we'll be having some program files folder. There we will be storing all our packages, all our softwares. In the same way here also, there is a volume called root volume. There will be a volume called root volume. So whenever you launch an instance, a volume will get attached to the instance, which is called the root volume. So all your required softwares will be up and running there, here in the root volume. So you cannot delete this root volume. Got it? Suppose if you want any additional volumes, you can create an additional volume and you can attach the additional volumes. Let me show you how to create an additional volume and how can we attach that additional volume to this machine. Volume is nothing but a storage. I'm going here. I'm in the EC2 dashboard itself. I'm same in the EC2 dashboard itself. Slowly coming down, I'm able to see an option called elastic block storage. This is one particular service. Usually people will call this as a separate service in the AWS, but don't look this as a separate service. It comes under the EC2 dashboard, EC2 only. So while understanding EC2 only, we are understanding elastic block storage service. What does the elastic block storage service provides? It provides volumes. With the help of this service, we can create volumes and we can attach the volumes to the EC2 instances. We can create the volumes, we can attach these volumes to the EC2 instances, and we can also take the backup of the volumes. We can also take the backup of the volume. Suppose if a volume is attached and some data is being stored there, and I want to take the backup of the volume. Yes, I can take the volume. I can take the backup of the volume in the form of snapshot. What is snapshot? The backup of the volume is nothing but snapshot. Yeah, I'll show you. Like we have not seen how to attach volumes to the servers. I'll show you how can we attach volumes to the servers. Let me go back. Let me go to the volumes. I'm just explaining you what is snapshot. Snapshot is nothing but the backup of the volume. Okay, we'll come back and discuss about snapshots later. Let me go to the volumes now. I'm just clicking on volume section. But when I'm selecting volumes, you see here we have an option here to create a new volume. Just click on create a new volume. Can you see here? I'm going back to the volumes under Elastic Block Store. Click on volumes, create a new volume. It is asking okay. It is asking some options, how much storage you want. So there are many volume types. We will discuss about all the volumes types later. Okay. We'll discuss about what is general purpose SSD, what is provisioned IOPS SSD, all these things we'll discuss later. But for now, what I'm trying to make you understand is we are going to create a volume with some size. I would like to create a volume with 10 GB or some 10 GB or 20 GB. Okay. Can you see here what is the minimum size of volume you can create and what is the maximum size of volume you can create? The maximum volume you can create is 16384 GB. And you know, 16384 GB. This is the maximum size of volume that you can create. But usually we won't create that much high volumes. Okay, I'm just going ahead and creating a volume with 10 GB. If you want, you can create some 20 GB or 30 GB. Minimum volume you can create is 1 GB. For now, I'm going with the general purpose only. These are the types of volumes. Okay, based on the access. So, but these are for storage only. Okay, usually in hard disks, we will be having some different kind of things, right? Usually today we are using SSD, HDD. We will be having some categories like HDD, SSD, all those things. In the same way, in the AWS also we have some categories of volumes. For now, I'm going with the general purpose. We'll see anyhow. We'll understand the detailed discussion about these volumes and all. For now, I'm just going ahead and selecting the volume size as 10 GB. And I'm just going ahead and creating a volume. So before I create a volume, you see, the most important thing that you need to understand, anyhow, you'll understand what is IOPS and what is the throughput whenever we go for these types of volumes. And the most important thing that you need to understand is the size of the volume and availability zone. This availability zone is also very much important. Why the availability zone is important? Because the availability zone is very much important because you need to create a volume. If you want to attach a volume to any instance, you need to create the volume in the same availability zone. What is availability zone? Suppose if you don't know what is availability zone, let me go back there. I'm going back to the EC2 dashboard. I'm going back to the EC2 dashboard. I'll come back to the volumes again. I have not yet created volumes yet. I'm going back to the instances running. I'm selecting the instance details. You see, when you come down and if you want to see in which availability zone, in which region the server is created, can anyone tell me in which region this EC2 machine is created? It is in the Mumbai region. This EC2 machine is up and running in the Mumbai region. And even I told you in the region also, within the region also, we will be having availability zones. Okay, if you want to see all those things, you need to go to the networking. You need to go for networking. Under networking, you will able to see what is the availability zone, where this server got created. Why? Because I told you already, we ignored about all these network settings because we need to have the basic idea of VPC. We need to understand what is VPC, what is subnet, all those things. Until then, we are going for the default options of networking. So now you can see here, when I go to the networking, we can able to see in which availability zone the server is created. We have not selected particularly. By default, it got created in AP South 1B. Usually, there is a customization. If we understand the networking concept, we can customize it. We can create it in the availability zone which we want. In whichever the availability zone we wanted to create it, we can create it. For now, the availability zone is AP South 1B. It is created in AP South 1B. Any questions here in understanding what is availability zone? I told you already, we have regions in the AWS cloud. Within the regions, we have some availability zones. In the Mumbai region, we have 3 availability zones. In Mumbai, we have 3 availability zones. What are the 3 availability zones? AP South, AP South 1A. We have availability zones like AP South 1A, AP South 1B, AP South 1C. These are the availability zones that we have. Okay. My voice is breaking. Is it for all or only for Lokesh? I don't understand. For everyone, my voice is clear or is it breaking?
Clear, Vansh.
Okay. Lokesh, please check from your side. Maybe issue is only for you, I think. Okay. So these are the availability zones, AP South 1A, AP South 1B, AP South 1C. These are the availability zones that we have. So suppose if you want to understand what is a region and what is availability zone, we discussed this in the previous sessions. Please go back and try to understand what is a region. Region means AWS is maintaining its infrastructure in Mumbai region. Under Mumbai region also, if they have some 3 buildings, they're naming the buildings as AP South 1A, AP South 1B, AP South 1C. And you need to understand a similar kind of infrastructure will be present in all the 3 regions. Similar kind of infrastructure. Whatever the infrastructure that is present in AP South 1A, the similar kind of setup will be there in 1B, similar kind of setup will be there in 1C also. These are availability zones. Okay, why we have multiple availability zones? Suppose if I create a server in AP South 1A, I can also replicate the same server in 1B. Why I'm creating the same server in 2 availability zones? Because if one region goes down because of some issues, usually in the cloud, we won't see any downtime. Okay. Because of some issues, if we see any downtime in one region, we can access the server from another region. That is why we have some availability zones. We have different availability zones under a region. Okay. Right. So we're trying to understand what is a volume. So for now, I would like to show you like in which availability zone the server is created. In which availability zone the server is created. The server is created in AP South 1B. So whenever you create the volume, go to the volumes, create a volume. I'm selecting some 10 GB volume. Coming down, I'm creating this one in the AP South 1B. Why? Because my server is created in 1B. I'm creating the volume in 1B only because if I create this in 1A, I cannot attach this volume to that server. If the volume is created in the different availability zone, I cannot attach this volume to a the server which is created in different availability zone. So make sure you are creating a volume in the same region where your server is created up and running. Your server is there in the AP South 1B. Okay. Same, correct, right? Am I correct? My server is there in which region? I'm going back. I'm just clicking on the region. Can you see here? I'm going to the networking. Under networking, I can able to see my server is there in the AP South 1B. That's the reason why I'm going to the volumes. I'm just selecting a create a volume option. I'm creating 10 GB volume, general purpose I'm going with. And I'm going to create a volume in AP South 1B. That's it. I'm going to create a volume. These are the two main things that you need to look after. Okay, these are the main two things. Anyhow, you need to understand what is general purpose, IOPS, all those things. But these are the main things that you need to understand for creating a volume. So we created a volume here. You need to wait for some time and you can attach this volume. How can we attach this volume? Select this volume, go to the actions, and you can see here the attach volume option is not highlighted here. The attach volume option is not highlighted. It will get highlighted once it will fully up and run. Okay, still the volume is not yet created completely. Volume is not at all created completely. So you need to wait until the volume gets created completely. What is the volume size that I have created? 10 GB volume. If you want to name it as, if you want to name this volume for your purpose, yes, you can name it. I'm just keeping this as my volume. I'm just keeping the volume as my volume 1. Okay. I created a my volume 1 and I'm going to attach this. If you want to attach this, go to the actions, attach a volume. So I am attaching this volume to an instance. When I'm clicking on attach volume, I'm just seeing that I'm going to attach a volume to an instance. So this is the instance which is already running in the same availability zone. Can you see here? When I'm going to select the device, this is the Linux server. Name of the server is Linux, which is already running in the same availability zone. Okay. Coming down and you can, for now, okay, this is the process. Okay. Just select the availability zone, select the instance and you can click on attach. Device name is, you can see where you can see the device name. You can go back. You can go back here to the volumes. Just select it. You can see the device name. Okay, you can click on the volume here and just come down. You can see the device name here. And I'm going back. Let me refresh. I'm going back to the volumes. You can see here my volume, the volume which I created is my volume and it is created in AP South 1B. And I would like to see some more details about my volume 1. Just click on my volume 1 and you can able to see the more details about my volume 1. So usually what can we see here is whenever you are attaching the volume, okay? Whenever you go for volumes or selecting the volume and attaching a volume, it is asking for, click on attach volume. I'm selecting the instance and it is asking for the device name, okay? The device name. So you can go here and the recommended options for selecting the device name. So you are attaching a volume, you need to keep some name for the volume. So SDB, SDC, SDD. So you can see the alphabetical orders here. The device that is already in use is XVDA. This is the root volume. X stands for root, XVDA. /dev/XVDA. Okay. So XVDA, the names which are starting with X, these are the devices reserved for the root volume. The device is already in use. XVDA is already in use. If you want to name this volume, you can provide the name of this volume as dev/dev/sdb. Yes, I am selecting this one. You can provide SDC also. Why? Because these are the available names for this. These are the available volume names for this. You can keep any name. Okay, I'm just going for SDB only and attaching the volume. That's it. So it is asking to provide some name to the volume. So it is clearly suggesting some names also. You want to name it as a B, C, D, like that. You can select based on your priority and you can attach the volume. Now I can go back to the instances. I'm just opening this instance, looking after the details. If I want to see the details of the volumes and all, please go to the storage. Under storage, you can see here This is the volume that I have attached. This is the root device volume. XVDA is the root volume that is already there. Now, just now we have attached one more volume, which is called 10 GB volume. And this is the one, /dev/sdb is the volume that is attached to this device. So like this, if you want to attach any volumes, yes, you can attach. Got it? If you want to attach any number of volumes, you can attach. Any questions in creating a volume and attaching the volume to the instance? So there are many options to explore. We don't have time today. Let's meet tomorrow. Let's discuss. Any questions in today's session? Any questions in understanding today's? We'll discuss about snapshot also. Okay, later. We'll discuss about snapshots tomorrow, next session. If you don't have any questions, let's stop this for today. Otherwise, let's discuss if you have anything on this.
Uh, may I know the, I mean, device name is /dev/sdb, right?
Yes, this is the one.
Yeah. Is it a device name or is there any backend thing there? So basically, SDB should be the partition, right? In the server, what else we have?
Yes, we are just providing the device name. You see here, the device name, we already have a root volume. Whenever I create the server, I had a root volume. So the root volume name is provided as, but I did not provide any root volume name. By default, it is suggesting the root name of the volume as XVDA. If it is
I
a root
believe,
volume, by default, it is suggesting XVDA. Okay.
yes, I believe this SDB and SDC we are selecting it is the partition, right? Where we need to attach our volume to the instance, correct?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
It is similar to, you can assume like in our machine also, we'll be doing some partitions, right? C drive, D drive, okay, like that. So in the same way, here also, we have a root volume getting attached while launching the server itself. Later, if you want any additional volumes, we can attach these volumes. Okay.
Yes, yes. Why? Because in Linux server we have the partitions like SDA, SDB, SDC in this format only. So I can assume the because and also the configuration file should be dev. So this way I can understand these things. So I'm cross checking with you whether it is the correct thing or not.
Yes, yes. You are right. Okay, then if you don't have any questions, let's stop it for today. Please join tomorrow at same timings. Thank you all. Thank you for joining.
Thank you. Thank you all.